Hello, welcome to Willie's Motor Jackets. This is our kitchen garden at our caravan holiday home. As you can see, we're still in progress. We started it last year, and yeah, we've made good progress, but we haven't been here since around November of last year. This is the compost bin that I made towards the end of last year out of pallet collars. We have our little trug on the right hand side there, just for I usually grow some lettuce and things in it, but currently full of weeds. Made quite a few raised beds out of pallet collars and some hoops and netting to cover, mainly because we have ducks and rabbits and of course birds. These are our tubs of carrots that we planted, and they're just, I planted them at the end of last year, around about September, October time, to overwinter, and they was only ever meant to be baby carrots, so they were sown quite densely. As you can see, there's quite a few in one little tub, but they're great for little salad carrots. They're nice and sweet. Of course you can boil them, and we have them with our roasts. I always take the tops off as I harvest them. That just stops the moisture from the carrot disappearing up into the greenery. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got 3 tubs of those carrots. Obviously they've gone yellow over the winter where they've had the frost on the leaves, but it has no effect on the actual carrots themselves. The carrots are just as sweet and as nice. This bed here we planted some onions. These are actually bulbing onions, or most of these are bulbing onions. As you can see, again very weedy because we've not been here for so long, but these were multi-sown onions, so there's, you know, sort of 3 to 4 per module. We can eat them as spring onions as they are now, which we probably will do in salads, and the rest we'll just leave to bulb up later on in the year. As you can see, we've got quite a few more beds. This was the winter giant spinach bed that I planted again September, October time of last year. Lots of leaves on here. We can harvest these nice crispy green lush leaves. So yeah, I'll take these off for harvesting and cooking to go with our, or probably our roast dinner, to be honest. And yeah, like I say, all these little beds we've just made these little covers for, just really to stop the pests, mainly birds and the ducks. We have an awful lot of ducks on this site, given that there's 3 ponds. This bed is spring cabbage. We planted again around November time, just beginning to heart up, as you can see. The leaves are looking good on them, but we've got quite a few dead leaves, holey leaves. These I'll take off all of the holey leaves. Any leaves that look like they're touching the ground, they've started going yellow, have little holes in them, I just tend to take them off because it just encourages slugs. Slugs do their little job by getting rid of waste, and of course they are, well, not wanted in the garden. So by taking off the lower leaves, any damaged or already eaten lower leaves, we take them off. It doesn't affect the plants at all. With the top half of the plant is absolutely more than adequate to continue all the photosynthesis that's required to keep the cabbage growing. So these sort of slightly destroyed leaves at the bottom, anything that's touching the ground will take off. Again, it just prevents the slugs from eating more of the cabbage than I want them to. We've got, as you can see, again lots more weed, but that's simply because I've just not been here to do any weeding, and a few stinging nettles. As you can see, all these things here are grown in topsoil. When we came here, we didn't have any compost, although we have, as I say, previously started making a compost heap. So all these leaves are absolutely fine to go into the compost, and the amount that I'm taking off will have absolutely no effect whatsoever to the growth of the cabbage. In actual fact, it kind of does it a favour really, because it puts all the strength and, you know, into the new growth. So we just take all these out and put them into the compost. And in the last bed here we have some garlic, which planted again November, December last year, and these are the parsnips that are actually grown from the year before, and they've literally just sat in the ground just because we haven't been here often enough to harvest them. I topped them last year, but as you can see already this year they've grown an awful lot of green, but they're still holding well in the ground. Again, I planted incredibly densely, so there's quite a few tiny ones I didn't prick out, or didn't sort of leave any gaps between plantings. So yeah, there's quite a few that sort of come out together, or we have clumps of a few together. This one's a bit tricky to get out, but there you go. It's a nice size. It's not enormous, but it's absolutely fine. All the rest here are the garlics, looking good. Hopefully will come good for next year. I'm Hannah, and thank you for watching Willie's Max Jackets channel.